We're trained to think in the future. And we're asking ourselves to observe what we think. It's the grammar of ourself that we're asking to look at. We're asking ourselves to look at that grammar, to see how we grammatically structure ourselves. What's the construction of ourselves related to the grammar of ourselves? It is, and I'm not trivializing this, I don't mean to, but it's ridiculously easy. It's ridiculously easy. We're all educated. We all know, even no matter what your educational level has been, you know when you're talking in the future, because you know the words. Going to, have to, must, should, would, could, ought to, will, I will. You know the words. Those words are the words that will be speaking your own relationship to life, which is your relationship to death. So we have a built-in relationship of conditioning to death. We're looking to reverse it. Just as the 1-minute life repair reverses your relationship to death and keeps you in life constantly by observing the beliefs and the images connected with them, so the disemergency state, as we call it, takes you away from those misconceptions and misperceptions that are de-energizing your life. Because once you give in to the misconceptions and misperceptions in the emergency state, I showed you what happens in the physiology. We're making if you will, a connection between the physiology, the physical, and the mind, the mental. I remember at the beginning I said that the mind is the channel of communication between invisible reality and visible reality. So the word mind as we use it now in this glib way doesn't really reflect this channel. So it's commonly used to mean the mental part. That's really what it is. So there's a unity between the physical and the mental. Things are going on one level, they're going on the other level. They're also going on socially, morally, and we'll get to that in the yes or no phenomenon, and they're going on emotionally. Physical, emotional, mental, social, moral. Those aspects are all tied into this. And your life changes as you begin to deflect these emergency states. There's an emergency. Any is an emergency. Any uh-oh is an emergency. Now, it's an ideal we're talking about here, because there's no blame here. You fall into the emergency state, it's fine. You begin to realize, oh, I see, I created an emergency. I created an emergency state. It's not that the emergency state is falling in on you. You're responding through your free will to the state of being or the experience that you encounter. You can choose one way or the other. You choose not to respond to it as an emergency state, that's choosing life. You choose to respond to it as an emergency state, meaning this is I misunderstood and I made what's a false emergency, believed myself to be a true emergency, then I've responded inappropriately. I've created an emergency state where none exists. And most everything in life, emergency state does not exist. It's a fiction.